So for the past 21 years of me being alive, I've always heard about what Reddit is, but I've never got around using it. But that all changes last week. So I finally installed Reddit, and after 1 week of me using it, I've noticed some problems that I could fix with automation. And the biggest one of all is scrolling through nonsense posts that people be just yapping and yapping and yapping. Those posts with 0 upvotes, with 1 or 2 upvotes. Like, I don't need to see those. So I made an automation that only gets me relevant posts and posts with lots of upvotes. Because I'm not finna waste my time scrolling through all that nonsense. And you know what they say, time is money. And I don't got both. So if you still can't tell what this workflow is, it's a Reddit top post summary to Telegram workflow. I'm going to give you a quick demo of how this works. I'm just going to click on execute workflow. And we should get a message on our Telegram. Okay, as you can see, it sends us a message. And what did we get? So we got the post metadata information right here. Subreddit is N8N. The title is I turn my basic ass N8N automation into a crazy micro SaaS. It's possible. The time created is on the 29th September 2025, and the time it was posted on is at 11:52 and 32 seconds. The post ID is right here, and the URL of the post is right here. Let's test it to make sure. And yeah, I turn my basic N8N into a micro SaaS. It's possible. So here are the contents. Yeah, let's go back here and read the post summary. This post described the journey of developing a micro SaaS product aimed at enhancing real estate marketing. Initially starting with a basic N8N automation, the creator utilized Zillow's API via Rapid API to collect property data. And then there's the rest of the summary. And now we have our second post, which is from the subreddit Passive Income. The title is How Can I Start Earning $100 a Month? This is the time created, the URL. Let's test it again. Yes, it works. And the post summary, which is the user is seeking advice on methods to generate a passive monthly income of $100. Okay, and it's the same thing for the third and fourth post. So now that we know how it works, let's take a deep dive into the system. So the first node here, as you can see, is a set node. For this set node, I named it as subreddits. And in here, down here is the name of the subreddits that I want to gather top posts from. We have N8N, Side Hustle, and Passive Income. And I put them in an array, which is a list. As you can see, it says one item is passed through. The next node is a split out node. So in the split out node, the fields that we're going to be splitting out is the array of the subreddits that we got from the set node. Down here in options where it says destination field name, I changed it to subreddit because now we have individual subreddits. We have N8N, Side Hustle, and Passive Income. And as you can see, instead of one item being passed through, now we have 3 items. The next node is the Reddit Get Many Post node. The first thing you need to do here is to connect your Reddit credential to N8N. The resource we're going to be using is post because we are trying to gather posts, and the operation is get many because we're trying to get lots of posts. For the subreddit right here, what I did is I dragged the schema from the split out node, which is the subreddit, and I just dragged it right here. You might be wondering, why does it say N8N when there are 3 items? So to answer your question, if you go to this tiny button right here, if you click on it, on the left hand side you will see the expression, which is JSON subreddit that we got from the split out node, and on the right hand side you can see the result. So right now it says N8N, but we have 3 items, right? So if you look up here, it says item 0. There's an arrow here. Click on this arrow and then you will see item 1. It says Side Hustle. And then if you click on the arrow again, it says item 2, which is Passive Income. So we have 3 items in total. Next for this button, it says return all, but I think its default setting is a limit. What a limit is basically the number of posts you want to get from each subreddit. So this is set at 100, but I want to be able to go through all the posts into subreddit, so I'm just going to put return all. And for filters here, we have category, which we have 4 options, which are top posts, hot posts, new posts, and rising posts. What I'm going to be picking is the top post because it's the most relevant. And as you can see on the right hand side, we have our table, and this is all the posts that we got from those 3 subreddits. We have 95 items in total. And let's check some of the information. Right here it says subreddit is N8N. The self-text, which is basically the content of the post. 2 months ago, this whole thing started with a question. I've noticed a lot of people in my AI circle were in real estate, and I keep thinking in real estate and so on. And then there's another post here. But if you go through the site, you can see the title here, which is I turn a basic ass N8N automation into a crazy micro SaaS is possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The next node is going to be a set node. This set node is basically to add a time and score to the Reddit post. So right here, I've added a time, and I've asked ChatGPT to generate the time in this format, so it's much easier for me to understand. Simply says 2025, September 29. And the time is 18:52, which is basically 6:52 and 32 seconds. And I've also added score to them. Score is basically the upvotes of the post, which for the first post, it has 146 upvotes. And as you can see on the right hand side, different posts have different scores. The next node is going to to be a merge node. We are going to be combining the information from the Reddit get many node and the set node where we added the date and time. And as you can see on the right hand side, we now have the created date and time right here. We also have the score now, which is 146. We have the subreddit, which is N8N. And then we have the self text, which is the content of the post. And if we were to go to the site, we see the title. And yeah, that's it. So after we combine the information with the time and score, what we want to do next is to get rid of unnecessary information. Like right here, you can see saved, gilded, clicked, link flare rich text, link flare CSS class, top award type. We don't need any of that. Those are not important information. So I added a set node, which purpose is just to organize the necessary information that we need. So if we go in here, you will see the time created, the subreddit, which I just dragged from the schema from the merge node, the ID, the title, which I got from here, the text, which is the content of the post, the score, which is again right here, and the URL, it's somewhere down here. But once you click execute step, everything will then be organized to its respective category. As you can see, we have the time created, the subreddit, the ID, the title, the text, the score, and the URL. Everything is organized in the order we asked it to. The next node is a filter by time and score node. So for this node, I've named it filter by time and score. We have 95 items. We don't want all of them. We only want the top and relevant posts. So for the conditions, I said the post I'm only accepting is when the time is created is after or equal to the 1st September of 2025. So any post that is before the 1st of September in 2025 will be filtered out by this node. And the next condition I give it is the score. For the score, I want it to be greater than 30. So any post that has less than 30 upvotes will be filtered out too. So once you click on execute step on the right hand side, you will see we kept 4 items and we've discarded 91 items. So out of 95 items, we've only kept 4. And as you can see, here are the top 4 posts. So if you look at the right hand side, we can see the title, which is I turned my basic N8N information into a crazy micro SaaS. And the score is 156. Yep, it's way above our standards. And then you also have the URL here. Let's see for the second post. The title is how can I start earning $100 a month? The score is 82. Third one is from passive income and the score is 41. So as you can see, this is pretty accurate. The next note is the LM, which job is to summarize the 4 Reddit posts that was kept after the filter node. For the system prompt, I gave it, you are a Reddit summarizer, format your response as follows. So for the post metadata, I want the subreddit, the title, the time created, the post ID, and the URL. And as you can see here, this is an example of what it would give us. So for the subreddit, it's N8N, the title. I turn my basic N8N automation. For time created, 2025, 9/29, 11:52, post ID, and the URL, which is right here. And then down here, you can see the post summary. And this is basically the post it's going to summarize for us. You'll have everything organized and summarized to you. And the model we're using to summarize our Reddit post is ChatGPT 4o. The last node is the Telegram send a text message node. So what I did here for the text field is drag the schema of the output that the LM gave us and drag it to the text field, and that's it. Next, for additional fields, I turn append N8N attribution off. And for parse mode, I set it to HTML. I've tried Markdown and Markdown v2, but both of them didn't work. And if I set parse mode to none, it also didn't work because there was some problems with the character from the summary of the post. Yeah, that's pretty much the showcase of our top post summary workflow. And if there's anything you guys want me to build, let me know in the comments. If you need anything, let me know in the comments too. That's it. See ya.